All right. This is the first one. I'm in work right now, and I find myself saying a lot like, "Oh, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this." And then I tell like a story or something. I'll never forget it. And then I realize I'm like, "Fuck. Well, I hope I don't forget it, but I don't know for sure." So I got to thinking, whenever I think of something that I'm like, "Oh, like I hope I never forget it." I'm just gonna make a video right now and talk about it as best I can until someone sees me talking like an idiot, and then I gotta go like this. But this one was almost a year ago. It was roughly, I want to say maybe a little more, definitely more than a year ago. It was probably like March 2025, my senior year at Middlebury, and I was doing my Music I Like solo concert, and specifically working on the Cuban music, researching my abuelo, Marco Matroni, the first, Marco Alberto Matroni the first, and all of his Orquesta Noel stuff. And I remember I was on FaceTime with Theo Chris, my uncle, my dad's half brother, who was, son of my abuelo. And he was talking to me about, and again, I say this, like, I'll never forget the look on his face when he was explaining this, but he's like, and something about the Matronis, we just have that need to perform, or that like that instinctual, like, we're performers, like we're singers, we're with the arts, and he described it in sort of a mysterious, like a mystical way, almost as if these Matronis have this sort of hereditary trait of being just born performers, and being able to express themselves to people through some sort of art or medium. And I never forgot that. I was like, man, like the way he was describing it. And then you start to think, yeah, I mean, like, I found magic at the age of 3, and loved it, fell in love with it, and then went to, violin at the age of 6. And then you start looking at, like my, like I think about like my cousin Matthew, someone who never really went into like any performing thing, but man, he can do so like impressions so well, and you could tell if he was an actor, he'd be good. Michael with the singing, and he's a creative dude to say the least. So I started thinking about all these like Matroni kind of characteristics. Oh boy, someone coming, and I don't know, it was just something specifically that I kind of didn't really. Someone was walking by. Never really forgot. And I want to continue this series, and hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to post this, but I want to keep it here. I see the 3-minute timers coming up. So I'm going to try to do this for as long as I can remember, and keep it going, have a little database. So yeah.